All right, folks, here at the shop today, get you a shop update on it. We are hoping that a lot of this stuff that is all shoved back in here, and I mean, there's so much of it that has to be gone through, but we're hoping, as I'll show you out there, that we have most of the final parts that 2.0 can finally start to go back together. So we'll get you updated on that. Also going to talk to you about the Haas machine, where we're at with that. Talk to you about the ship box 1.0. Hey, I'll give you another one of those life lessons, but that's where we're at today. Thanks for watching, guys. Let's get at it. Here we are this week. We are in front of the Haas machine. It still does not work. You know what, I do have, whatever. I mean, here's a part that Jim did make on here. This is basically just a fixture that he made a while back, and the tolerances were off in this. And I mean, this is one of the pieces that he played with for quite a while to try and figure out exactly what was going on and what he was doing wrong. Because the answer was there was nothing wrong with the machine. So it had to be his program or his post processor or post or whatever you want to call that. I'm not the machine lingo guy. But so, however, last week I did talk to one of the vice presidents at Haas, called and basically said that they are working on the fix, that they will have the fix. They were supposed to have the fix. Well, I don't know. There's a whole bunch of supposed to have the fix. But as of my conversation last week, the fix was going to happen by mid this week. It's mid this week. We don't have it. Now, Jim did hear from somebody today that said that there should be a fix, that actually the Gene Haas is now involved in this, and that there should be a fix. If there's not a fix by end of the day Friday, which would mean we wouldn't get it till Monday, best case scenario, then people are going to work all weekend to come up with the fix. The fix is going to be a temporary fix that is going to hopefully allow us to make parts in the machine, with a permanent fix coming in 3 or 4 weeks. Obviously, I hope that that does happen, that we're able to get the machine up and running, but you are looking at a case of another time where days turn into weeks, weeks turn into months, and I mean, at this point, months are getting ready to turn into years. So really hoping that we get to that point. Now, one thing they did do is they did defer the payments for 3 months. So therefore, for the next 3 months, the payments I have to make on it, I don't have to make. They're actually pushed back. Now I hope that means I bought the machine where I did a down payment on it, then it was 12 months, 0 interest. So I hope that that also means that the 12 months 0 interest is now 15 months, because when they push it back 3 months, that means I got those 3 extra months, that all of a sudden it's just not all whatever, said and done or whatever at that point. Because as I said in the last video on the finance thing, is don't pay interest. So when at any time you can avoid it. Well, that's the situation with this, is on not paying interest with it. The big problem and the hard part right now is the fact that there was no payments for 6 months. Then I had to make 12 payments on it. Obviously I had to make the down payment on it. So the idea was that during those 6 months of no payments, that we'd get all the bugs worked out. We would actually be making parts with the machine, and it would start to make money, and then all of a sudden the payments would kick in, and now we're making the payments on it while we make those final 12 payments on it. So that didn't happen. Here we are. I do hope that Gene Haas is involved, the vice president's involved, like the people that have been talked to, like hopefully all of that goes, because all I want at the end of the day, the machine to work and for us to make parts. So I do have issue that a machine would be delivered that didn't have the bugs worked out of it. So now we're the guinea pig for the bugs. So, but I do hope that we get past all that and we do start making parts. Haas takes care of us on things, and it ends up being a successful venture, and I hope to purchase more Haas machines possibly in the future. But that's where we are at with the machine right now. It's still a paperweight, but I'm being told it may cease to be a paperweight soon. So that's the machine. Now, I mean, let's get on to something a little more positive, and let's talk about 2.0. All right, guys, today's video is brought to you by Bespoke. Bespoke is a monthly membership club. They deliver awesome boxes of top shelf goods from under the radar brands. Every month, they introduce their members to cool new products, outdoor gear, barware, home and kitchen goods, clothing, and even more. They even have live oysters. Based on the preference quiz members fill out when signing up, the box lineup changes every month, and each box is at least $70 in value, but only costs $45. So we're gonna open these boxes up and we're gonna see what they shipped us. We got 3 different packages that came in, so basically see what we got, but very excited about opening these up. All right, guys, let's see what we got. What's cool is that they deal with small businesses. They've bought over $45 million worth of product from small US businesses since the COVID-19 process began. So excited to see what they ship me, but obviously comes in a box, it's got their logo on it. Probably should have pre-opened these up, but look at that, Forge. Obviously it's going to be a knife, so, and I'll show you after we're done opening this stuff and checking out what we got. But basically it's an online questionnaire that you go to and you fill out that questionnaire. It basically has your likes and dislikes, and then based on what you check with your likes and dislikes, that controls what you get shipped that month. And you have no obligation for it, because you get notified with what they're going to ship to you before it happens. And if you choose that you want to pick something different for that month, you can. If you even want to skip that month, you can just skip that month if they didn't have anything that was appealing to you. But it's basically every month the item is at least a $70. Man, that's a nice knife. The item is at least a $70 value, and you only pay $45 for it. So it's a set price. Man, that's got some weight to it. So there you go. Buck and Bear Mini Hunter Damascus steel knife features drop point blade, 256 layers, forged steel. Man, it's heavy. Full tank construction, gorgeous wood handle, fastened with brass pins. See the brass pins in there? Oh, it actually was oiled so it doesn't rust. To open the other boxes. There we go. We got another knife. Terra. Inspired by Japanese. The ultimate tool. Oh wow, hammer. It's got serrated edge, 2 cut and dry. So there's there, but oh, comes with a detox gruff bar. And what does that call it? Twist the casting, plug out birch cylinder, create a chirp which will attract whatever songbirds around come to sing. Just twist the cast. Oh, you hear that? Well, that's pretty sweet. Bird call. So, on to the knife itself. A little bigger version here. So, yeah, definitely serrated edge. Also says you could use that in the garden. So, dig deep. Truffles, plant herbs. So, serrated edge, pretty sharp there. And then they say that, I mean, this is, you can definitely pound something with that. So that basically must go all the way through. That's a definitely sweet setup there, the Terra. And once again, like I said, this is something where you get to pick what your likes are, and they basically cater towards what you want. You get a chance to review what's going to ship to you, and if you don't want it that month, then you can basically just go in and skip that month. So, and with the code that I'm going to give you for the link that should be on the screen, hopefully right now, you get a 20% discount off your first order. We'll get into this last box. And see what we have in the big box. So I filled out the questionnaire or whatever, and then they did some different things. So based on that, a coffee pot. Oh, cold brew coffee maker. So you got a cold brew coffee maker there for making cold brew coffee, obviously. So I do like cold brew in the summer, especially on the warmer days. So I'm sure that's going to come in handy. Oh, these would be the bitters. If you are one of those drink concoction makers, then you do know bitters is actually called for in a lot of the drinks nowadays. So that is what that is, and there should be a concrete desk set there. Oh, that is actually really sweet. That is a concrete pen cup. You get a concrete pen cup, and as you can tell, none of this was opened ahead of time, and basically I just wanted to be surprised when I saw it as well. So there you go. There's your desk set made out of concrete. I've actually never seen anything like that. That is really cool. So that's what you got there. I'll show you how you go through and log into the website, and basically you go through and pick out what you like. It's just like a simple 9-question questionnaire. And then once a month, like I said, you get a $70 value minimum from some small brand company that basically it works to promote the small businesses in America. And you get that. That's what I got. So thanks again for them doing it. And let me walk you through the website to show you how, if you want to order, you can. Bespoke. So, and basically, you go in, you follow the link that's in the description box on mine, and that'll give you 20% off. Basically, you go down and go to Get Started. Tell us about yourself. This is going to cover a couple of the things in here, and then you basically take the quiz. And with that, it's looking for the things you like or dislike. Power mixology, I'll say open to try. Home decor, I'll say I'm not interested. Style accessories, open to try. Clothing, open to try. What's your clothing size, shoe size, shirt size? Cigars and tobacco, I'll say not interested, only because if I said interested, then it wants my birth date. Kitchen and cooking, men's grooming. Basically, it's just taking you through different things so that it can help customize your kit. And once again, with that kit, basically, you go in here and then you sign in. With that, I mean, you have the choice whether you accept what they want, pick something different for that month, or you just don't get anything that month. So it's pretty cool to get a nice gift in the mail once a month with it. And like I said, $70 value minimum, and you get it for $45 every month. So thanks for watching, guys. Guys, as we get into 2.0 here, a lot of people have been asking about the Nomad. The Nomad is at Dennis Taylor's shop down in Arkansas, and they've done a lot of work with Alex's 55, so I mean that's tied up a lot of their time. They're actually working on a project for Roadkill, so some work has been done on there. There's been a little bit of updates with the front axle and the and actually the stiletto rack, which is the same rack that I run here on 2.0, has been mounted. I'll try and update you guys with a little bit of video if I have Dennis send me some stuff on there or whatever, or Alex, and get that updated for you. But 2.0, the bullet is back. So Steve cleaned that up. He went through there. We have some stuff with that. I'll show you a little bit of that. He sent back the pistons. I haven't actually even opened that box yet for basically where that stuff was at. Delta Pag radiator showed up. Delta Pag, ever since I've gone to his fans, great setup to run them at any voltage. That is actually the same radiator fan setup that was in it. The version that was in the fire is sitting right here. As you can see, a little melted, and actually John wasn't happy with how it looked. Everything still functioned. Water pump still functioned, Mazir water pump. These fans actually still turned on. I mean, granted they were a little clanky, but they did still run. So I mean, after the fire, still everything was there. Everything was working, but we do have our new Mazir pump there for swapping that out. But with the Delta Pag, I mean, that is definitely one of the secrets to drag and drive events in my aspect, is Delta Pag fans, number one. The radiator is a bonus. So, but the fans are the best because they're a solid state fan, so a brushless fan. So basically, if something goes bad on these fans, it would be this module. So I always carry special modules. This is actually an upgraded module that John made based on a concern that I had with it, which was rapid cooling and stuff like that type of situation. I've liked the idea that, hey, can I spin these fans faster to get everything to cool down faster, or if I run into a situation where I need to do it. So basically now we have multiple speeds on these. So basically we programmed the system, and actually in the ship box here, we actually did it. If you saw that, Aiden was setting that up. But basically we kick one fan in, then we can kick the other fan in, then we can, in the one fan on low, then we can kick one fan to high and then the other. And basically, I mean, it's almost unlimited with what we can do with that. So great setup, drag and drive. Like, that's probably one thing that people ask me, and they say that times, hey, I'm not running the times, like that I'm ready to participate in something like that yet. And I always tell them the same thing, that you have to go out and you have to do it. Get it to where you can live the 1,000 miles in your car, and then worry about going fast, because going fast is the minor part of these events. The fact of surviving for 5 days and 1,000 miles, that's the hard part. No matter what you think or how reliable you think that your car is, that is the big testament to these events. But Steve's gone through. So got all the MSD coils on here. Injectors melted. They actually didn't have the same type of injectors we had before. So he had to go to a different style injector on this, basically same capacity. We have the wire harness for it. Andy does that for us, but cleaned it up, and everything is ready to start going back in. We do have most of the components, front ends back together. Actually went with Low Dollar Motorsports for all my sensors this time, because the race pack sensors are plastic, and I mean, I was known to, I can adjust the ride height on this car. So basically I can adjust this cup down, and I adjust it about an inch and a half down for street driving, basically to raise it up and give it some better ground clearance. So when I raise that up, that obviously pulls this out further. And with that, with the race pack shock sensors, a lot of times I've extended those out, and basically they come out of the bottom. So I'm going with, a lot of people swear by these low dollar ones. I've talked to the guy at PRI before. So finally in the position that I'm making that change with that. So all the shocks completely rebuilt. So that was all done, and rack went out. That's back together. So basically this is ready to turn into a roller. We were waiting, which actually just picked up from, just got from Skinny today, but the new master cylinder. We're replacing the line locks, replacing all the soft lines. I mean, these fuel lines and stuff that are still remaining in there, those are going to be replaced. We just didn't pull them out. I don't know why, but mostly they go all the way to the back. But that was a minor deal at this point in time. But that's where we're at with the front of this and getting ready to put this back together. So the engine will go in, get the radiator mounted. As you see, it comes from Delta Pag. It doesn't have the provision in here for the water pump yet. That'll be mounted there, the Mazir water pump, and then both the water fittings. We'll weld those in. We also have to weld the mounting plates on here so that we can mount that radiator into the car. Because if I show you on here, you do have those AN fittings there. You do have these plates in here that are mounted on both sides. You got the plate for the water pump to tie that in. And same thing on that side. But other than that, I mean, that's what that needs so that we can set that up, because Aiden actually cleaned up and painted. That's the tree for underneath the, front end. I do not see, I don't see the two radiator brackets. That's obviously parachute mount there. I don't see the bracket for the radiator, but either way, there's two brackets that come off here, basically support that radiator. Radiator sits on a slant there. Interior, as I kind of covered before, that's all good to go. We do have to update the seat belts. There's some other stuff that's expired that we're going through. Fire system is another update that we're doing. We are going to the fire aid system, and we are going to the auto sense. So basically there will be a module in here that basically will self-deploy inside the car should it exceed the temperature. And then there'll be manual, which actually this is going to go on the shift lever, which I can show you back here, or I can show you on Aiden's car. The handle is actually in the shift box. That mount, you can see that right here. So that's the mount that Mag's Chassis Works makes, that will have the levers on it, so that basically you can pull it manually for one or both systems inside the car, but then it's also an auto deploy for the system in the driver's compartment. So one of the upgrades making to it. Shocks are back, same thing. Low Dollar Motorsport shock sensors in the back as well. We went to that. All the shocks have been rebuilt, put back together, changing those soft lines. I mean, basically just doing a once over and doing some of the updates to the car that basically been on the list to do. We just haven't done yet, or haven't done because we're all in a rush to do something, but taking the opportunity to make sure that we get some of those good upgrades in. So that's where we're at with 2.0. The ship box, Aiden has that set up with the street tires right now, just like regular street radios. Do some street driving with it, car shows and stuff like that. He did swap out the slicks on the beadlocks to Hoosier QuickTime Pros. See the DOT marking on there? That is what you need for Roadkill Nights, which is coming up in August. So if you haven't done anything with that yet, Roadkill Nights, that is the race that happens on Woodward Avenue in Detroit, or in Pontiac, right in front of the M1 concourse. So as part of the deal with that event, I've always had the Tom Bailey Woodward pre-party, because a lot of guys are coming in from out of town, like Joe Barry, you got Mark Cicino, Rick Stanky, like you got a lot of those guys that are coming in from out of town for the event. They're coming in again this year. So basically now with the Sick to Mag deal, we kind of just call it Sick Day. So Sick Day 2021. So that's going to kick off Thursday at Sick Pizza in Oxford, Michigan, and basically giving out free pizza. The whole event that I do, the Thursday and the Friday, is a fundraiser for the Epilepsy Foundation of Michigan. We've raised over $50,000 for them in the last couple years, and looking to raise another big amount for them right now. So, or right now this year. So there's already a ton of people signed up for it, but the Thursday deal is just a pizza party at Sick Pizza. So 6 to 8, a donation gets you a slice of pizza. bring your cool car, or just come see cool cars, or just come have some pizza and hang out. So that is Thursday, August 12th. Friday, August 13th is at M1 Concourse. So registration for Roadkill Nights is going to happen during the day, and all the cars are already picked for that. Registration's already happened, as far as I know. So I'm going to be there with 1.0, which is waiting for its engine. It's at Steve's shop. We lifted a ring landing in it at Midwest Drag, so it's at his shop with all the Corona stuff going on. Parts are a little hard to come by, so we're waiting for some stuff for that engine, but should have that here back soon, and then we will get that back into there. Aiden's going to be driving the ship box. I mean, there's a bunch of guys coming. So Dave Schroeder's going to be bringing his car. Joe Barry's bringing his car. Like, lots of cool stuff. But Friday is the registration where everybody gets checked in and teched for that. And after that, that evening, basically from 5 until 9, we are going to have the sick day. And that is going to be, basically, you have to register to come in. You can only come in by car. There's no spectators. You can't park somewhere else or anything like that and walk in. That's one of the arrangements made with M1 Concourse and with Motor Trend to allow me to have my little get-together. But basically, you come in, well, you go online, you register at www.bailey-racing.com. It's $100. $100 gets you a cool windshield sticker. That is your entry pass. It also gets you a shirt, and all the proceeds from that go to the Epilepsy Foundation of Michigan. So let's call it the Cars and Coffee or whatever, kind of on steroids, because you're going to have a bunch of the out-of-town cars, the drag and drive cars that are going to be racing on Saturday. So you're going to be able to look at those. You can bring in your cool car, or you can bring in your regular car. There'll be some parking for regular cars, but once again, you can only get in there with you and a passenger. Costs you $100. All the proceeds go to the Epilepsy Foundation of Michigan. So it is a great cause that you're supporting. And I know if you're treating it as a Cars and Coffee, then yep, it's expensive Cars and Coffee. But if you treat it as you know that you're donating to the Epilepsy Foundation of Michigan, then you know what? That is a worthwhile investment that goes to help many people with epilepsy in Michigan. And help support their camps, help support their youth programs, help support the adults, because more people than we know actually suffer with epilepsy, and it seems like it is one of the overlooked one. Everyone ends up giving to the nonprofits that do a whole bunch of advertising. Well, they spend your money that you donate to then advertise to get more money from other people. Epilepsy Foundation of Michigan is not like that. They do very little advertising, so therefore they need all the help they can get. So Thursday, buy a slice of pizza, or not buy a slice, donate and get a slice of pizza. That money goes to Epilepsy Foundation. Friday, come to the sick day, 2021 Woodward. Come there, and of your $100, all the proceeds, I mean, the shirt costs $5, so I mean, that'll come out of there. I mean, it might be $5 or $7 cost, but then everything above that, the stickers were actually donated by Thompson Graphics. So because he does a lot of my stickers for everything, so he donated the stickers. So now the stickers don't even come out of that. So majority of that $100 goes to the American Cancer Society. And like I said, in the past couple of years, we've given, goes to Epilepsy Foundation of Michigan. Last couple of years, we've given over $50,000 to them. So great cause, great time, cool cars, fun stuff. Be there. So thanks, guys. And please subscribe to the channel. So love what you guys are doing. I guess this episode of Talks with Tom, I don't even know what you want to call it, but obviously you guys like to know a lot of this. There's a lot of questions about me getting started with Drag Week and stuff, and I guess I'll cover today. I mean, my first year for Drag Week was 2010. I bought the car. It was a '69 Camaro. I bought it off eBay in 2007, 2008. I had not been I had not been racing, raised kids and did all of that. So got back to where I was going to have some time for myself and was looking for a car. Bought a race car off eBay. I can tell you that's bad advice. Usually don't buy stuff off eBay. It was supposed to be rust free. It was in Virginia. Bought it sight unseen. Went out to Virginia. It was rust free because all the metal was gone and it was replaced with Bondo. So therefore there wasn't any rust because it was almost a fiberglass car. But long story short, that's the Indian Burial Ground car. So it took quite a while to get that together. That is also that's also when I met Steve, because I read about Drag Weekend Hot Rod and basically went through, and that's part of the reason for Sick the Mag now, is because what I learned and what I was able to read about and know about does not exist in print any longer. So that's one of the reasons that Luke and I are doing Sick the Mag, is kind of bring back that grassroots part of the drag and drive, and obviously promote all the events that are out there. But on to my start. 2010, I did my research on it and knew that I wanted to go with a Pro Charge combination. And low internet research, and Steve was the guy for Pro Chargers in the area. So reached out to Steve, and that was, at that point when I reached out to Steve, he was basically in between companies, and he started working with a buddy of his, or was getting ready to start working with a buddy of his, and that's kind of all that started. His shop, actually, as it exists today, came around a few years later. But that's where Steve and my relationship started, which was my very first delve back into drag racing, back into doing something with cars and a lot of aftermarket stuff. So 2010, Rick, who works for me, we did the event. So we went there, got the car ready. It started actually in Columbus, Ohio. On the way to the event, my Ford truck at the time blew a boost tube. We were lucky enough that we could, and I don't know why I remember this, but we stole one of the hose clamps off of the car in the trailer to put the boost tube back on so we can make it down to the track, and then removed it, put it on the car. But either way, it was had an F2 on it, 540 car. Actually, Craig Grubner actually has that motor combination, or he has that motor right now. He ran it in his car, but now he's got a different setup in it. But either way, so we went there. 2010, started in Columbus. We left Columbus, drove to Indy, was the next track. When we got to Indy, we had zero problems with the car. I mean, yeah, it was hot out, like nothing compared to the suffering that we've endured since with these type events. But as soon as we got to the hotel in Indy, lay in the median and just lay in the grass. So that was the first thing that both Rick and I did. That was the hardest thing we had ever done, was that easy drive on a nice day from Columbus to Indianapolis to get ready for racing the next day. So fast forward, that was 2010. That car untested. 2008, we were supposed to be at the 2000. Actually, it might have been 2007. Was supposed to be there 2008, 2009, 2010. Finally said, I'm just going even if the car's not ready. So wasn't ready, didn't know a lot about it, but whatever, we went anyway. And car wasn't running the times. We were just trying to make it through the week. Didn't have anything to figure out with it as far as the tune-up and trying to get anything straight. So either way, we made it almost through the week. We were 50 miles from the last track, and we actually stuck a lifter, lost oil pressure, and we were out. Now, to tell you the story about the drag and drive events, and the cool part of it is that we're there, it's, I don't know, 10 or 11 at night. Truck and a trailer drive by. Actually, we didn't see them drive by, but pull back up behind us, and they're like, yeah, we passed you, and then we want to know any issues because we're on our way back to Missouri or something with the trailer, and we're willing to tow you wherever you need to go. It's like, and very apprehensive about the whole thing, but end of the day, it's like our hotel's there. They're like, hey, one of you can ride with us, like whatever. I mean, the guys were super cool guys. I mean, they ended up, like, for them to turn around and come back, they technically did about a 15-20 mile jaunt because the next exit was quite a ways down the road. So they got off that exit, went back, came back around, and then got behind us again. So took us to our hotel, wouldn't take a dime for anything. Bought the guys a beer, and they were on their way. But that's the type situation. If you don't drive an old car, if you don't drive something cool like that, like, is people are always willing to help. Like, it's amazing, and a lot of times we forget how good people are by nature. And drive something old, drive something cool, and you will find out, because if you have an issue, sure, there'll be the assholes, but you will have a vast majority of those people are going to be nice. They want to help. They want to do anything to help you get there. So that was 2010. Now, also in 2010, which, like I said, was my first year. So we're at the last track on the last day. You got Lutz and Larson are in it. And event, I don't know if the event ended technically, if it happened after, or either way, Larson had the win wrapped up. But then he went and made the first 6-second pass in drag week history. And like I said, I still don't know if it happened during the event or after the event, but either way, I mean, his car made it through the week. And then, but watching that and sitting there, and Rick and I, like, looking at each other, and we were probably, I don't know, 200 foot down the track where we watched it from. And watching that car go by and watching that, like, I just looked at Rick and said, man, that is the craziest thing ever. I would never do anything like that. So that's 2010, the first year. I guess, whatever. I mean, we can carry on with the story longer, but you kind of know where everything's gone since then, based on what I've done and what I've accomplished with it. But that first sense of it, and knowing that, like, that was just crazy, and that's something, and that was an honest opinion at the time. And I mean, I had a car that was going to run 850s. That first year, it was running in the 9s, but it should have been an 850 car. But either way, that tells you how addicting this type of stuff can be, as far as pushing yourself to the limit, seeing what you can push your car to the limit, and seeing where you can go with it. So that's kind of your talk with Tom today. I know it's not a real in-depth insight or whatever, but that is telling you about my first time with Drag Week, and my first car, which we call the Indian Burial Ground car. So I will try and throw a picture in here so you can see that car. I don't know if I have any passes of that car on tape, but for sure I can show you a picture. So thanks for watching, guys. Please subscribe.